Hi there, it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy, and I have a really interesting, I guess we'll call it that way, card for you today. We're going to use the Seize the Day bundle. So the stamp set looks like this, and the dies look like this, and the dies also have this great big old window kind of looking die like that. So I've used this stamp set in my videos a couple times. Let me show you some of the projects that I've done already with them. This was my first card. Cute, huh? Little card here. With this stamp, or with this card, I included the Whale Done stamp set. I love this little hoping your birthday fishes come true. I think that just works out really nice. And then on the inside, I like that you're kind of a big deal. I like to put that on my cards too. And then the background for this card is the new stamp set. It's a background stamp. Looks like this. Really, I think it goes this way. Or maybe it goes, no, it goes this way. There we go. But that's in the mini catalog that's current right now. So that's what I used for this card. Cute little, just a window card, kind of peekaboo card looking through there. Nothing fancy, but I like the little shapes that you can cut out in little fish and crab and lottie-dottie, lottie-dottie. And then if you watch my videos, you saw this card, which is a window box card. Gives it a little bit of depth there. Same things, I use those same stamp sets, cut out some of those pieces, put it into that. I'll try to link the video to this in the description, so if you want to go back and watch this, how to make this card. Boy, I'll show you what not to do in that video and what to do in that video. So there's that card. And then I got a swap from Donna Williams. Now her card is a shaker card. Look here. And she totally went and stamped that little octopus and the words in a window sheet and then made it into a shaker card. I don't know if you can see, I don't want to make you seasick, but there's a little shaker. So that's my next step. I want to do a shaker card with this one too and see what I can come up with. So thanks Donna for swapping. That's a really cute card. But today we're going to use a little bit of blue hair gel. Now I got this at the dollar store. So it's not expensive hair gel, doesn't matter. It says it's alcohol free. I don't know if that matters either, but we're gonna make a card using this blue hair gel. So I've got all my stamps on blocks already, so I don't need, I'm gonna put this aside. Oh, but I am gonna bring in the Party Puffin stamp, just this happy birthday. I wanna make my card a happy birthday card, and I thought that was the best font to match or something. I don't know what I was thinking. But let me show you the card for today. The card for today, are you ready? Looks like this. And this is where that, see that shower gel kind of makes the water? So it's a really fun, kind of heavy, but I think I could still mail it. We'll have to do a trial run and see. But that's what the card is going to look like today. Okay, let's get started like I said. So I have a piece of just plain old basic white cardstock. It is not the thick, and it is 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it down here at 4 1/4. And we're going to take that and we're going to run it through the die cut machine with that peekaboo window piece or whatever. So I'm going to lay my platforms here. I have platform number 1, plate number 2, cutting pad that's really chewed up number 3, and a little warped. I might have to replace him pretty soon, but he'll work for today. And then I'm going to lay my cardstock on there. And now I don't know if I'm going to put, you know how you have a bump and a valley on your scoring? I'm going to put the bump side down because I want that on the inside of my card. I think it folds better that way. And then I'm going to lay this piece right here in between my score line and the edge of my card on the right hand side. And then we'll lay that on there. I'm going to bring in my die cut machine and let's die cut that window through that piece of cardstock. Just easy peasy, just run that through real quick. So now, my piece looks like this. And I have that window through that piece of cardstock. Okay, now this is a pretty good piece of cardstock, and if you're going to do a card, let me show you another one I did. This was my first one, and I even took this little piece, I stamped it right there, and used the Everyday Lovely Labels punch, I don't know whatever this punch is called, and punched it right out of that piece. So you might want to hang on to that piece. I'm not going to, I'm going to throw it away. But anyway, look how cute and simple that card is. That was my first one, my first go at the hair gel card. That's what it looks like. But okay, so now we have our piece. I'm going to use my take a pick tool and get all those little, oh, maybe there's just one. They all came out pretty good. There's only one little piece left in there. Let me put this back in my die set so I don't lose him. And then I'm going to bring in some of my Stampin' Blends. Now this is Granny Apple Green. I have both the light and the dark here. And this is Fresh Freesia. But I'm only going to use the light on that one. Let me bring in a scratch piece of paper. So you know, these are Stampin' Up's grid paper. You can buy these at my online store. They're great if you want to measure stuff. So I'm going to make sure that I leave the inches side clean. I'm going to turn it over to the metric side so I get that side dirty, because I'm going to use those measurements later on in my card. So I'm going to start with my dark Granny Apple Green, and the first thing I want to do is I want to kind of get the edges so this oval kind of remains true on my card, just on those greenery leafy looking thingies that are plants, I'm assuming, in the water. So we're going to just kind of, and did I mention this is the dark? I'm doing with the dark Granny Apple Green because, and I'm only going to do the bases of this one up here and this here I'm going to do in the light Granny Apple Green. But then I'm going to kind of scribble some color on there, and I like to use the bullet end tip of my pen, not the paintbrush end. I think it's just easier for me to color that way. Now, might be different for you. You'll have to try them out and see, but I like to color with that tip. And you can see I'm going to just scribble some ink or some color at the bottom or the base. You might have to lift it up to make sure you don't have any white showing through of my plants here. And this little sprig here, I think I'm going to color the whole thing. I want him all dark. There we go. A little bit down here. And now really, I should not be teaching you how to do the blend markers at all. I have no artistic eye. I'm not very good at coloring. I'm not very good at blending. But I think the Stampin' or the blends, the Stampin' Blends, are a great helpful tool, because even if you're not good at it, just put some ink down and see what happens. And I think, my opinion, is the more ink you put down, the better they look. Because blending it is just those inks sinking in, I guess, together, blending together. When you do these little pieces up here, I'd suggest you go one way and just kind of like that. Let's get this guy, and I'm going to just go ahead and color all these together. I'm going to color on them several times, give them a couple coats, get those darks blended in with the lights. And then with that Fresh Freesia, I'm going to go ahead and color all that coral down there. Now, so you don't have to watch me. And like I said, I'm not a professional. I'm not worthy of teaching you how. But the end product's going to look something like that. And for me, as a not artist kind of type person, you can make your Stampin' Blends work for you. Like I said, just put lots of color down. Go color on top of color, especially the light and the darks. I think that really helps. So there's what my piece looks like now. Now, on my original card, I don't know if you noticed or not, but look, it kind of has like a little texture on my coral down here. So what I'm going to do, what did I do with the scrap paper, is I'm going to bring in my Fresh Freesia ink and the bubbles. In the stamp set, there's these little row of bubbles like this. I'm going to stamp those onto my coral. And that's what's going to give it that kind of textured look. And now I'm going to make sure that I don't stamp, well, I guess I'm going to stamp a little bit below my oval. I didn't want to do that, but oh well, as is. But I'm going to keep my ink in there. And now, I don't know if you hear, let me lift it up so you can see. See how my coral now has kind of, I don't know, to me it looks more corally that way. Now I guess I could have taken my dark fresh Frieza pen and just put the spots on there, but I really like the effect of those bubbles on my coral. There you go. Okay, let's now take this and I'm going to fold on that score line, making sure that the edges over here are lined up before I press firm on that score line, because I want it to match up pretty good. Let me bring my bone folder in. There we go. And now looks like that. So now I've also taken that die set and I've cut out some of that greenery. Now this is shaded spruce cardstock, and I think, well, no, I'm gonna tuck some of this back here. And this one, I think I'm going to kind of weave it in there like that, just to give it some more color. And like that. But now I want to stamp my school of fish back here. So I'm going to bring in some Pacific Point, and I want all of my fish to be going this way or to the right. So I'm going to use this little fish here, and I'm going to just stamp my little school of fish. So I'm going to open up my card, and I'm going to kind of guess. I don't think it has to be perfect. I'm going to kind of make sure that I start about right there. Okay, let's stamp one. And I'm being really careful to apply lots of ink here and not lots of pressure here, because I don't want the edge of my stamp to leave that mark on my cardstock. So straight up and down, like I said, make sure my ink pad has got a lot of ink on there, so my little fish are happy stampers. Oh, that was funny. That was good, Kathy. All right, maybe it wasn't good, but I think one more little fish right here. And let's see how that looks now. Yep, nope, we need one more right down here. So I'm gonna take this little fishy right here and lay him there. Okay, so while we're stamping, let's go ahead and do the inside of our card. So for the inside, I just have a piece here of basic white that is 5 1/4 by 4. I'm going to ink up, first of all, I got some Granny Green ink here, and I'm going to ink up that Plant Life or more green stuff. You know, at home, I usually kill the green stuff, but maybe if it's in the ocean or in a fish pond, it won't die. That's just a little information. Kathy has a very brown thumb. Okay, and then I'm going to take the fish that's swimming the other way, and I'm going to add a couple little fish right here on the inside of my card. Cute, huh? And then I am on the inside of that same, I'm going to add Seize the Day up here in the corner. And then let me put that away and put the green away. I'm going to bring in some of that Balmy Blue and stamp my happy birthday. Whoop, not upside down. And you know what, for some reason, I have to practice on this one, maybe because I want to get them. Yep, okay. Then lay that right there. And then let's quickly, I'm going to use my Stampin' Scrub here. I'm going to clean that purple off of those bubbles. Let me just put some Stampin' Mist here real quick on the wet side. Clean my bubbles real quick. Dry them off on this side. It's great about the Stampin' Mist or the cleaning tool. Wrap and dry. And then I'm going to take those little bubbles here and just add a few around my fish maybe. Let me grab that scratch paper so I can get ink on my work surface here. Yeah, and just do a few little bubbles. Yeah, I think that looks really good. Look how cute the inside of my card turned out. Okay, I think, oh no, one more thing. I need to bring in that Pacific Point again, because we need to do a tag or a sentiment for the front of our card. I think this, let's use this piece, looks a little bit bigger. This is just a scrap of Balmy Blue. I'm going to take those words that say wishing you oceans of happiness and just stamp that down. Hopefully I got it in the center. Bring in my punch. Now, right now, I can't remember the name of my punch, but if you go to my blog, becreativewithkathy.com, all the measurements for my cards and the supplies will be, hold on, I can't punch and talk at the same time. But the list of supplies and the measurements will all be on my blog. Give me a few minutes after the video and I'll go get those onto my blog, becreativewithkathy.com. Okay, now I believe we are all done stamping. I'm going to get all those out of the way so I don't put my hands in the ink. Let's make sure we have all our pieces. Oh, and then the last piece I have here is Balmy Blue. It's 8.5 by 5.5, and I have scored that at 4 1/4 too. So it's just your card base. I'm going to go ahead and take this piece and put it inside, mainly just so I don't lose it and looking for it later. I'll know exactly where it is inside my card. There we go. And now it's time to work our magic with our hair gel. So I have a clear envelope here, and I'm going to just open that up, and I'm going to squirt that hair gel. Wait, let me get it. There we go. Squirt that hair gel in there. And really, I think it took a little bit more than I expected. Now let's kind of mush that around and see if I need to add more. I'm even going to use, and you know, you probably can't see what I'm doing. Let me find that scratch paper. Maybe this will help. There, that does help. I'll turn it over so you can see. Oh, I stamped on both sides now. Come on, Kathy. Oh, well. I'm going to make sure that I get that gel. And I think I need just a little bit more. So let me open that up again. Let's put a little bit more in there. I was kind of surprised at how much hair gel you actually needed in there. Now, this technique is definitely not new. Years and years ago, this technique was very popular. And in fact, I watched a video probably on YouTube, and that's what gave me the idea to put the hair gel in behind this little window here. But I think that looks pretty good. I think I have it smoothed out. So you can see, can you see that hair gel in there? It's very light blue. But when in fact, I'm trying to decide if I need a little more. No, I think I'm gonna just go with what I have. I'm probably gonna be sorry I didn't put a little bit more in there. But now this is where I'm gonna use my grid sheet here to measure, because I want this piece to be about 5 1/4 inches long. So I'm going to figure out which is this is the back side of my envelope. Take that covering off of my envelope and fold this down. And let me get that. I did have enough. I got to get this down a little bit more, because I want my hair gel to be at about 5 1/4. But I'm going to fold this down to make sure that my envelope is now 5 1/4. And by folding it over like that, that's what's going to kind of help me to keep that hair gel in the envelope so it doesn't ooze all over our card. So do you see how I did that? Now my envelope is 5, and I totally went to the wrong one. Hold on. This is like, you like my videos, what not to do. 5 1/4. I looked at the wrong measurement, is up here. Oh, thank goodness I do what not to do. That way when you do your card, you don't make the same mistakes I did. Here, 5 1/4. Now I got it too high. Okay, so at least you can play with your hair gel a little bit. 5 1/4 is up here. I thought that looked too short. There we go, 5 1/4-ish. There, now my envelope is 5 1/4. And because I screwed up, there's a little bit of hair gel, but I'm going to just take that and wipe that on a rag here. Okay. Now I have my envelope the right size, and you guys know what to do instead of what not to do. There we go. Now we need to cut this down, because this is about, let's see, this is about 4 1/2 inches, and we need it down to closer to 4. So I'm going to just take a piece of tear-in tape and lay it right at the edge of this side here. Tear that off. press really good to get that tear and tape really stuck to my envelope. And then remove that backing, and then I'm going to just fold over that tear and tape, and that's going to take care of that 1/2 inch that we were off, or that we were over, I guess. So just like that. Now my envelope full of gel is about 5 inches by 4. 5 1/4. I'm sorry, 5 1/4 by 4. Boy, Kathy, come on. I'm going to bring in my silicone mat here, because now it's time to put this into my card. So I'm going to take that tear and tape again, and I'm going to put it all the way across on the bottom of my white piece here on the inside, and all the way along the top. And I got it as close to the top as I can so that I didn't get any in the way of my bubbles and such here. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and do it on both sides. Again, as close as I can to the edge. And then I'm going to just press on those, make sure they're nice and stuck down to my cardstock. Then one more time, I'm going to take my card and I am going to, well, fold that sticky strip, I guess. Okay, so now it looks like that. It has the sticky strip in the inside. I'm going to go ahead and put just a little tiny bit of liquid glue here on the tip. And I should have got my maybe not of this one, huh? Okay, fine. Let's try this guy, see if he's going to work for me today. Oh, yeah, there we go. He was just, there we go. So I'm going to just put a little bit of liquid glue on the front of this guy here, just so I can get him where I want him here, and he'll stay long enough for me to get some glue on the back of him. Like that, and the same thing on this one. Just a little bit of glue on the tip there, and tuck this in here. And there we have those pieces down. And now this one, I'm going to put just a touch of glue on the tip on both ends, so on the top and on the bottom. And then I'm going to lay him like right there, just enough to hold him in place while we get that gel down. Okay, so let's go ahead now. Now we're going to take off the tape. I couldn't think of what it was called. The tear and tape. Just on this side here. So let me get these two. And I'm only going to go to where they fold, or to where that score mark is, and lay that there. Take this one all the way off. And this one, pull it back just to that score line. Like that. So now I have tear and tape exposed all the way around the edges here. I'm going to take my envelope full of gel, making sure that there's a flap here. Where I close my envelope is in the back. And I'm going to put this side where the sticky strip is by the fold. And that's just going to help to hide it a little bit. And I'm going to set this right there at that fold, trying to get it centered. There we go. Making sure it doesn't show, and lay that down. Now my fish, apply a little pressure there, show through my window there. It looks like that. Cute, right? With my little fish through my gel. I'm going to kind of squish my gel, although I can do it later, but I'm going to kind of squish my gel away from the edges, more toward the center. There we go. Okay, then on this side, I'm going to take a little bit of that liquid glue, and I'm going to just touch where these little pieces and these little green things, so that they'll lay on my card and not stick up or get stuck on the envelope or anything like that. I'm going to put a little bit around these extra bubbles that are sticking out. But this is going to hold that green down, because the sticky or the tear and tape that's on there is going to hold everything else down. But I don't want these to, like I say, get caught on the envelope and stuff like that. So I think that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and remove the rest of my tear and tape backings. And then I'm going to just fold this closed right over my envelope, making sure my little pieces there still look good and looky there. Then I am going to apply a little pressure here, make sure the edges of my card are nice and stuck down with that tear and tape. And then let me grab, I forgot one thing I want to use. I'm going to use my Stamparatus here, just the base, to align that up to my card, because now I want to put this card onto here, and they're the exact same size. So I think the easiest way to do that is to use your Stamparatus base. And again, I want it to stick really good, so I'm going to just use tear and tape. And I'm going to put some tear and tape right here on my card base, because they're the same size. I shouldn't have any tape hanging off the edge. Usually I'd put the tape on the layer, not on the base. But there we go. Get those off. Oh, and I should make sure, make sure that my card's the right way. I put the inside in already. I got to make sure I'm not taping mine upside down or backwards or something, but he should be good. So let me take this, put my base in there, take my little front, put that right on top so it lines up just perfect. Easiest way ever to line anything up is to use the corner of your base. You could also use your paper trimmer. You could use your Simply Scored tool. Oops, and I need a little bit more glue right here under my coral. So let me just peel him back and put a little tiny glob right there to hold him down too. There we go. Okay, so now all he needs now, because there's my card, adorable with those little fish behind the greenery, right? And then it just needs the greeting here. I'm also going to put some some tear and tape, not sticky strip. But sticky strip is long gone. Nope. Yep. Whatever. I can't get my old words out of my head. It's always been sticky strip, and then they changed it to tear and tape, which is really more user-friendly, but I'll always call it sticky strip. Do you guys remember sticky strip with that red backing that would stick, and static would stick to everything? But there we go. I'm going to put my little sentiment right underneath this fish here. And then last, it's terribly crooked. I don't know if I can get that straight now that it has the sticky strip on the back. It's tear and tape Kathy. Okay, he's a little bit crooked, but he's going to have to do. That's going to really bug me too. Do you think I can get the, oh look, I'm going to be able to get it off of there. Okay, never mind. We're going to be able to fix my crooked there. Yay, so much better. See, paper crafting, you can always fix your little errors. But the last thing I want to do is I want to add some bling on there, and I'm going to bring in some new product that you might not have heard about, and clean everything off so it looks nice and neat here, is this. These are the Rhinestone Basic Wave Gems, and it's from a new suite. It's called the Waves of the Ocean. This will be available March 1st. If you're not a demonstrator, if you're a demonstrator, you can get it now. But it consists of the stamp set and the dies, and then they have this beautiful, beautiful designer series paper. Look at this stuff. Here's the front. Look at those colors. Is that not pretty paper? I had to get it to go with my Seize the Day because this paper would have been beautiful behind my jelly or my hair gel envelope. But anyway, and another thing is that blue foil paper. Let me show you that. I think that's beautiful too. It comes with some silver and then some light blue and some dark blue. So look how pretty that beautiful silver paper is. So we'll be making some stuff with that soon. But anyway, that is actually an early release that'll be in the catalog in June. Now the designer series paper, the foil, and the gems are only while supplies last. Like I said, starting March 1st, but the bundle will be in the new catalog. A couple other specials that Stampin' Up! Has right now that are early releases are the All Together. So this is the stamp set and the dies. Now in the catalog will only be the stamp set. The dies will not be in the stamp set. They have this beautiful paper which will be, it's not while supplies last, so it should be in the catalog. And then they have all these new colors of blends which are great for skin tones. That's another early release. Now this one became available February 1st, so you can go ahead and get that one now. And then the last thing I want to show you is one of the new kits. You know, Stampin' Up! Has great kits and their kit collection is outstanding, and a new one is this magnet board. And now I have it, and so I plan to do a kit together. There we go, I had to make sure. And we can make kits together here online. That way if you need any help, I'm here to help you, and we can just get together probably on Zoom. You can be safe in your home, I'll be safe in mine, and we can just chat and get together and make our kits. But anyway, we're gonna use these little gems here. So I like these dark blue ones. I'm gonna take 2 of these medium and just set one right there. So glad I was able to get my tag straight, and one right there. And then I think I'm gonna take these little ones and just put them here. Well, not there because it's too lost inside that bubble. But inside, there we go, that bubble. And maybe one over here in this bubble. Because I think the card has enough, well, except these are it's, and then we're gonna do one more down here. Just to give it some little bling. My sticky tool is really sticky. There we go. So there's our card today. You'll have to let me know if you've ever done this gel before and what you think of the gel. So there's my 3 gel cards. You can see this one I think has the most gel in it. He's pretty thick gelled, this one's medium gelled, and this is thin gelled. But they're really fun to play with. The recipients of the card will have fun filling that gel inside your card. All right, I guess that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching. Like I said, if you need the measurements or the supply list, be sure and visit my blog, BeCreativeWithKathy.com. If you like what you see, please like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, leave a comment. I'd love your support in that way. I'll see you back here Thursday in the morning. Bye-bye.